What's up? What's up, everybody? I hope you guys can hear me. Let's just check a mic check. Can you guys hear me? Is it loud and clear? I hope so. As you can see, this is like headphones now. We're getting pro. We're going pro, folks. Um, I think I mentioned to you guys, my goal is to start up a podcast as well. We'll do the video like we're doing now, but converting it over to audio so we can actually have a podcast. So I kind of need to know if you guys can hear me. So if anyone can, oh, good audio, awesome. Yeah, I got a whole new setup, and uh, so it's supposed to be podcast quality. So thank you, Sam. Thank you. So yeah, I got new mic, I got headphones. This thing is supposed to be really good stuff. So it's awkward wearing headphones, but now I can actually hear myself, and Lord have mercy. So awesome, awesome, awesome. Hey, what's up, Nalani and Laura and everybody else? Welcome, welcome. It's been a while. It's been a hectic couple of weeks for me and Patsy and everyone here. And perfect. Thank you, Pops, all the way in Seattle. It was great to have you home for a little bit. And tonight we have a interesting show. Lawaia Naihe. Many of you know him. And I'm going to save the introductions for when he pops in. This is uh, the first time I'm trying out this new stuff. So the sound is amazing. It should be. It better be. I did a lot of research on equipment, and yeah, it's a bunch of stuff that just came in, and I'm so excited. I was praying that it would work, and so yeah, it's actually gonna. It's supposed to fix my audio as well as our guests' audio. We're gonna test it tonight, and I'm just glad it's working. I'm glad it's working. So yeah, be on the lookout for a new podcast. Right now, it's titled "Feed Your Mind," and that allows me to talk about all kinds of stuff. So tonight is like the test run. Thank you for being my guinea pigs. I really want to mahalo Lavaya, who you'll meet in a little bit. I hope. We'll see if this thing actually works. This is a new streaming program that I have. This is a brand new audio setup that I have. So it's an improvement on the audio. Oh, that's Susan. Thank you, because that's what they said it would be, and I can hear it in my headphones. It's like clear and crispy, and that is thanks to this wonderful mic that I have here. Um, and we'll see how it goes. There's a lot of things that we can do with this setup, and obviously, you can see the mess in the back, uh, but yeah, it's we're still in the growing phase. But yeah, I hope that when we kick off the podcast, you guys will join us and uh, start paying attention. We'll have guests from all over the country sharing about all kinds of things, and I'm hoping that if every podcaster needs a big set of ears. Yeah, I'm very, it's pretty cool actually. It looks bitchin' too. But my bigger concern was the quality that you guys are hearing, and I'm glad that so far no negative comments yet. So, oh, and there's the man. The man is here. He's in the green room. I think this is his first podcast as well. I told him that we're going to test out this new stuff, and uh, I think many of you know him. And if you do a pretty backdrop, actually, this thing allows me to do a green screen, so you won't see this ugly background. I mean, the sign, let me just, I think many of you remember that from 2020, 2 years ago. Kirk Correa was nice enough to donate us this sign, this little banner that we have in the back. And this show has evolved quite a bit. And as you know, we have touched on all kinds of different topics. And that was the reason for the idea for the podcast. I like the sound now. Thank you guys. Oh, thank goodness. And I can come up right here, talk really nice. But what's up, Addison? Councilmember Bulasan, brand new council member. Thank you for joining the show. Yeah, so I'm hoping that when we, transition into the podcast, we'll be able to get a lot of you guys to come on and pay attention. The other thing we can do now, and I'm not going to do it tonight, but is I can now take live telephone calls, which is going to be fun. And I hope to use that to do some council recaps, and so we can actually hear your voice and not, I can do some nice things. I can, I can bring these things onto the screen and stuff. But to be able to hear your voice and chat with you live, I think is going to be quite amazing and interesting, and that'll be fun. I know a lot of you guys were confused because you saw the promo slide for December 8th, tomorrow night. We are having a show tomorrow night as well. And I know you all remember, I think many of you remember Jennifer Smith. She was the whistleblower from the Department of Health. Remember all of that? We covered that quite detailed on this show. Jennifer was the one that came out and spoke about basically the lies that the state was sharing about contact tracing and so forth. Well, you guys know the story, right? She whistleblower, ended up going back to work, and ended up getting fired by the state of Hawaii. She has since written a book, Pandemic in Paradise. She just released the book last week, and we're going to have her on the show tomorrow night. We're gonna do a pre-recorded interview because she's so far away. So we're gonna do the interview early, but we will replay that interview live tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. So I apologize, but we gotta respect the time difference, and we're gonna make it happen. And I promise you guys, we'll ask the right questions. So without any further ado, I'm gonna click this button, and I'm gonna pray that Lawaia shows up. Let's just see. Yeah, let me fix this here quick. There, let's put a pretty background, and then we'll. Oh, there's the man. There's the man. Can you like say something so I know that.
Hello, Mel. How you, brother?
Beautiful. It's working. I'm so excited for tonight's convo. Addison, I'm gonna start playing with this stuff, guys. Bear with me because I'm super excited. Not just because we get one of the most sought after speakers in this state of Hawaii right now in Lawaia, but because I have this new toy that look, even Councilmember Addison Bulasan is saying excited for tonight's convo. I'm actually kind of worried because I don't know what this guy can say. We have not prepped at all, but anyway, welcome to the show, my friend. Welcome to the show, bro.
Right on, man. Thank you very much, and I apologize if anything slips out that not supposed to. Candid.
The beauty of this show, it's unedited, uncensored, whatever. It is raw, and sometimes it's so funny because YouTube will send me a warning because every so often my mouth gets a little, I slip, and YouTube will send me a little warning saying, hey, be careful, stop using that word. But that's all good, man. That's what we do here. We, when we started this show, I started doing my live 5 years ago. We did a weekly show, and then when COVID hit, Uncle Charlie and myself, we did this 7 nights a week. And the whole premise of this show was to inform and educate. And not that COVID is no longer an issue. It's starting to ramp up again in the mainland on the West Coast. States are talking about reinstating mask mandates. We started to talk about other things and other good things that are happening in our communities throughout the state. And a couple of weeks ago, I think it was a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Time flies. I cannot really keep track of time. But a few weeks ago, I was invited to be an MC at, first of all, this is Lawaia Naihe, and I'm going to let him introduce himself. But anyway, a few weeks ago, he invited me to be an MC at an event, which I thought was a fundraising event for a school. When I arrived, I learned it wasn't a fundraising event for a school, but it was a showcase of a project that Lawaia has taken on. And I was blown away. I was blown away because you guys all know my passion for kids. And what I saw that night, and if we're going to talk about tonight, what I saw that night was this gentleman's passion for kids, young adults, teaching them skills that they will use in life and getting them on the right track. Right away that night, I spoke to his team and I said, we need to get Lawaia on the show. This is the kinds of things that we want to share with the community. And we have viewers from all over the state. We have viewers that are on the mainland right now. And we just want to showcase what we are doing here and celebrating the people like yourself, Lawaia, who, I'll let you share your story, but who is dedicating your life to helping our keiki. And to me, I don't like get emotional on this thing, so I'm not. Lawaia, who is Lawaia Naihe, and and how in the heck did you end up where you're at today?
Well, sheesh, right off the bat, you want to come with something. Who's Lawaia Naihe? I mean, depends on who you ask. Some people say jackass. Sorry, but uh, I hope not everyone. Um, ah, just some guy that wants to help, just like help. You know, so much. It's so much negativity that you know we just need some good hope. That's it. You know, it's something that I want to bring. Ho'ake olapono means to spark the good fire, good life. Essentially just to spark hope, and that's what we want to do with our young men and women. Is just give them something, give them an option. What can you do? Here's other options rather than just training to go to college or training to just get your degree or your diploma and finish school and good luck in the world. Something that give some of our pals, our cousins, our families, our friends some hope, so they're not in the back bushes. I think mostly everyone that's watching this understands what that means. People in the back bushes, doing things that they shouldn't be doing, just because they wasn't taught correctly. And that's something that I take personally, because I had to navigate life in a different way, and I wish it was easier, but it's not. So here's a way to make things, and not necessarily easier, because the stress is good. Those burdens, those trials, those errors, they're all good learning opportunities. But having the tools to be successful is very important. Um, Most people don't get those tools unless they search on their own or their parents teach them. And in Hawaii, that's difficult. That's a difficult conversation. Our parents got to teach our kids. They should be teaching these things, but a lot of our parents work multiple jobs. They don't have the tools themselves, for parenting. And some of these parents can't even read to their kids. um, and it's not any fault of their own, outside of just this kind of system is designed that way. And like I said, that's what we're trying to do here. We're just trying to bring a little bit of hope to our island, our small island.
So, Levi, you're like a teacher by trade. Athlete. You went the college route, played football. You became a teacher. You started teaching here, and but you come from an interesting background. Some challenges as well. But what made you decide? I mean, you're a star athlete, football player. Obviously, you can tell just by looking at you. But when and what made you decide? You know what? I wanna teach kids. I wanna be a mentor. I wanna help our kids grow up right and smart. What was that turning point for you, coming from an athlete that I don't I would
It
have
was
never I would have never suspected you becoming a teacher.
I think that's the general outlook of me. Like, everybody thinks of what I've when I explain what I do, and they're like, if they know me for a while, like, wait, what? What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Um, it was when I decided to go to college. My dad told me, hey, he said, I'm very proud of you, wanting to go to college, and why don't you go out there and go learn how to do stuff and come back and help Hawaiians. And then, yeah, I took that, and that's why we started our program. And it's even more than just helping Hawaiians. That was my one of my dad's goals in life, was to help Hawaiians. And I just kind of took that on. He told me that those things, go out there and help. And so everything I've done was to learn the skills, to learn the tools, um, gain the knowledge to help, to try and help. And that's what we're trying to do, is just, try help. Yeah. And, how did I get into teaching? That's tough, because especially in the situation I'm at. My older brother Mahiai was an awesome teammate. Growing up, an awesome leader, just trying to show me what it takes to be a man. And growing up was tough. I grew up in special education, as a student. I wasn't obviously, talk to some of my classmates, and again, those are the ones like, wait, you're a teacher? You got kicked out of class every single day. Um, and it was funny. I look back and I just laugh. Um, I was in special education to about ninth grade. Um, and then, luckily for me, I had, you know, again, with my older brother and my family, my cousins, and we were all into sports. Luckily for me, I had sports. I was a big guy, I was strong, I was athletic, um, and it just helped. It helped me um, understand team, and it made me want to be a part of something better. Um, played football, had opportunity to play football. Um, and more importantly, I had an opportunity to learn some skills that could last me longer than just a football career. And that's where I started. I started as a little kid um, that just went to school, got kicked out of class, wasn't so wasn't didn't feel like I wanted to be in a classroom. Here's a funny story, Mel. I tell this story. I've been telling this story recently, but when I was in first grade. Um, I would wake up. We were poor growing up, so we lived in a tent. Me and my brother. My brother would wake me up in the morning. I would just wake up. Um, I would put on a shirt. I just slept in shorts. I put on a shirt, and then I would just walk to school. Like there's no brushing teeth in between, no brushing hair. There's no changing clothes. There's no washing of face. There's no eating. It's just, oh, wake up. We gotta go. Most of the time, I was walking in late to school, so the teachers already, I was already that kid, and in normal clothes. You got just making things happen, and a big credit to my dad and his support system that was able to overcome some of those obstacles that we had. And then so I didn't really have a love for school, which was a shame because I love learning now. Like now, all I want to do is learn things. Um, and it's just reiterates the fact that these are learned skills, they're learned practices. It's not that anyone is smarter or better than anyone else. It's just people have better skills because they were taught different. And so, like I said, I grew up in special education. Then I ended up becoming an educational assistant for special education. Then I became a teacher, special education teacher, and then I became a special education administrator. And now I just decided to start a school for an alternative school or learning center that can help some of the students that are just not your traditional student, like myself. And blessed for the opportunity, and here we are.
Well, you bring up a good point about how our educational system was always focused on getting the kids to college. And I remember years and years ago having a discussion with someone that was from Switzerland. I believe it was Switzerland, and they said,
Mhm.
not every child is built for college. And in the fifth grade in Switzerland, they determine whether or not which track the students are going to go on, whether they're going to go to a college prep course or into the trades. What a brilliant concept! I went to college very late in my life. I didn't get my degree till I was in my 40s because I just never had the opportunity, and I didn't think college was that important anyway. I became a cop at a young age. You didn't need to have a college degree back then anyway. But that is so true that not every kid is built for college, and if you force them into college when they're not ready or they're not interested, then you set them up to fail. What I saw at that function that you had was these kids now have an opportunity to learn not just the trades, but to learn life. And a teacher like yourself who has experienced that life, that living in a tent. And by the way, your dad was an amazing man, and he has got to be looking down at you and Mai and everybody else, so proud. Condolences again. We were just talking. My wife and I were just in the car and said, your dad was the best Kamehameha that she had ever seen, in the parades. And I agree with her. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen one that portrayed King Kamehameha like your dad did. So he's very proud of you, and my appreciate what you're doing. But so you've come up with this idea, this project that you're gonna take these young adults, these kids, and train them in the trades and develop a curriculum that surrounds the trade. So how is this working? How is it going to work? What is the vision for this project that you are working so hard at completing?
Well, first and foremost, what we're trying to thanks for the kind words about my dad. You got me a little emotional over here, Mel, and I'm gonna have to, that's no thank you. All right. I don't want to be emotional on your show right now. But thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Um, exactly what you said. There's a lot of skills that school does an awesome job at teaching, and there's a lot of things that they don't do a good job at. And a part of that is financial management, wealth management, investing, things like that. Just how to manage a bank account. It's just hard to um, it's hard to be successful if you cannot manage your own bank account. You know what I mean? Like if you, it's hard to be successful when you don't understand what other options you have out there. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to make it a little different. I have a lot of experience in sports. I have a minor in health as well and coaching. I actually have three minors. I have a minor in coaching, a minor in psychology, and a minor in health. I love to coach football and sports and be a mentor to or some of our young men and women. Um, so I was trying to think of how can we take a holistic approach to training and teaching our students that end up being adults. And so one thought was, why don't I just combine everything that I know how to do and do it that way? I've as a teacher, you don't get paid much. So on my move back to Hawaii, and you know how expensive it is here, my move back to Hawaii, I needed to supplement my income by working. So I would have to work with our contractors and gain the skills that I needed to make extra money on the side. That helped me tremendously, while I was going for my graduate's degrees. Um, just helping me supplement the income. And then I became good at it. And, I just like, okay, well, here, I have good experience with construction. I've been doing it for so long. I've, good experience with teaching, um, coaching. And, I just decided, why don't we do something that encompasses it all? So even with health, we're trying to teach our guys construction and workforce health, how to maintain your health, what's important. Um, it's not just about slamming hammers or throwing wood and just, it's about being able to understand when you're going through these burnouts. It's about being able to recover properly and correctly. How can we teach these things that can allow our students or our individuals to maximize their potential? We learn these things in college when we're playing sports. Like I said, we're taught how to maximize our potential with our physical stature so that we can be the best that we can possibly be. We don't see that in any of our constructions companies or even our schools, because it's, how do you teach that? How do you teach something like that? So we work, and we have a great team, and I don't want to say any of this is my idea. They have trade schools all over in the mainland. um, so it's nothing new. I think that the concept that we're trying to do is we want to get out there and actually do things. We want to build things in real time. I don't want to build things something in a lab that I'm going to break down and do again next year and just throw all those materials away. That's a waste of money. It's a waste of time, waste everything. It's just a waste. If we can get out here and do some of these nonprofit building jobs, and it makes it easier for some of our students to make these mistakes, and they go, okay, we'll fix it and get it out. But it's just trying to offer something different, something that encompasses. We want to make sure that our guys are going home and thinking about recovering. We want to make sure that, hey, when you're stressed out, go take some breaths. And not only do we tell you, but we teach you how to take those breaths and why you take them. You know, you do those things when you're learning how to play in professional sports. You know, and that those are billion-dollar industries. So of course they're going to teach you how to maximize your potential and try to get the oxygen in your body and try to make sure that you can eat right and know when to eat. So if we put that in the same context of construction, which I feel is the exact same. Now, what's the difference between working a construction job, trades job, moving around, having to be athletic, whether you're in sports or not, having to be athletic, teaching you how to understand your body to do these things. Um, Not only that, the stress that not being able to manage a bank account brings. We all, I've been through that. I still go through issues like that. But not having those skills when you leave high school, like even in college, I didn't learn some of those financial wealth management skills in college. Um, so just being able to understand, like, hey, here's an option. All of our students go through financial literacy, and they go through investment literacy and training. So and they go through health training, health. We teach them how to meditate. I say that loosely, how to think their way or breathe their way through problems. Without talking about mistakes. We have meetings. We tell the kids. We have one-on-one meetings. Try to get to know people individually. Um, and try to make the best decision with them on what they should do. If a student is good at carpentry, I'm not going to go send them to a cement contractor. I'm not going to. I really want to find the best option for our students, because I feel like the more prepared our students are, the more successful they're going to be. I mean, obviously that's a cliche in life, but I believe that, and I want that to happen. I want to I want to spark any kind of hope I can out of any person I come around. Players, I love coaching football. I love coaching sports. I love just talking to kids and just be like, hey, come on, man, what'd you do that was great today? What are you gonna do to be better? They tell me, oh, uncle, I messed up with this. I say, okay, well, it's a good learning opportunity. What you gonna do now? So that's what we try to bring different to the table.
So this academy, obviously the vision is to build a new high school that's going to be,
Yes.
focused on the trades. So right now, you already working with students, and you're
Yeah.
working towards getting your first grade built and running. Uh, I will say that and let me just for the viewing audience, this event that Lawaia had and his team, he got a great team, like you said earlier. They had these little stations set up, and each station had food. But in addition to the food, each station had a had a like a poster board with one of the features of this academy, and with that was a student that had to explain that portion of the academy. I gotta tell you, man, and you're the teacher, so they're gonna respond to you as the mentor, as the coach. I'm a member of the public. There is no relationship at that point, but I can tell you that these kids were so proud and just so excited to share what they were doing. And you guys had these professional poster boards with photos of projects that these kids have worked on and are working on, structures that they have actually built. What's the vision? What's the outlook for this academy? What are the plans to? I know we spoke a little bit about it at the academy at the event, but for our viewers, so what's the plan? You're going to start off with one grade and slowly expand.
Yeah. So currently, thank you. So currently, we're running 3 programs. In our first year, we've only been around for 1 year. In November, the event, that was our 1 year anniversary. We wanted to invite contractors in to see what we've done. I didn't want to go and ask people for money or ask them for support without having a product to give them. I'm very prideful in that matter. I'm not, I don't want to just see you to give me money. I want you to show you what we can do. Um, so like I said, we got three programs. We have a high school program that we're subcontracted through our charter schools. We have two schools, one in Kauai, one in Hilo on the Big Island, Kanui Kapono here in Kauai, and Connections Charter School on the Big Island. Um, and that's where we teach our 9 through 12 curriculum, how to, basic introduction to carpentry 1, 2, building construction tech 1 and 2. Um, and then we also have our internship program, which is a 17 and older program where we'll train you for 12 weeks, and we'll give you all the basic knowledge. We'll give you all the tools you'll need to be successful, physical tools. We'll give you all the hand tools, nail bags. Depending on the trade you're getting into, you'll get hammers, speed squares, try and give you as much as things to be successful, drills, power tools. But not only that, we'll give you all the safety tests that you need to take to have those tools. And we'll give them the OSHA. We give our students OSHA safety tests. That's where we also give our students financial literacy and investment training. We allow them to open up investment accounts if they would like to. We also pay our students, our interns, to come through our program and train. And at the end of our 12-week program, we try and set them up with one of our contractors out there that could utilize the support. And then we bring in another batch and we train another batch. That's our internship program. Our first was our high school again, our second our intern, and third was our all females program. Our partner Kelsey Yeoman has been such a blessing to my personal life as well. And when we got together in COVID, I was planning on this school just being a co-ed school, but she was like, "Hey, we have issues with females." And females, they don't want to be in a co-ed class, and it's tough for them. Not saying they don't want to be, but it's tough because men dominate this field. And a lot of the women that enter this field, they're kind of sitting in the back. And as a teacher that teaches this, you see the boys are always jumping up to get up. Oh, I like use the saw. I like use this. Oh, I like make this cut. Oh, mister, I like try this. Uncle, I like try that. But the girls are in the back. They're just watching. They want to participate, but they don't want to feel stupid. They pick up the tool, and then the boys will look at them like, oh, hey, oh, that's not my purse, or stuff like that. And so again, working with Kelsey, and she was like, well, why don't we just do an all females program? And I was like, well, that's why you're my pal. And so we made it. We made it happen with our first class this year, and that's partnering with KEDB and Jackie Kaina over at KEDB, and they've done an amazing job to help us out and get going. And we started our first program in June. It was really successful, and we're very happy about that. About that program, and that was a 12-week program, and we got so much positive comments and feedback that we're having another one come up during fall break. If you're following us on Instagram at Hoa Keolopono, you can jump on that and you can click in the link. And if you want to jump in with some HVAC refrigeration training, jump on in there. Had to throw in the plug there, Mel. Thank you. But yeah, those are our three programs. Like I said, we have a high school program currently. We have an internship program, and we have an all females program. Our long-term goal is that we have a high school that's dedicated to all of building and construction trades. So our goal is that we start a 9th grade class, and each year we add another grade until we get our senior class. And then we have different strands, or different quote unquote college strands. You got 2 college strands where we want to do an engineering and design strand. We want to do a construction management strand. Those 2 strands can get you to college and allow you to get the white collar work. But we also have a workforce development strand. So those are 3 strands. And our workforce development does just that, get you ready to go to workforce. Now, they'll all receive the same type of training as far as the health, because as an engineer and architect, having to sit behind a computer, that brings a whole nother set of health stressors into our life that we need to direct You need to learn specifically how to deal with this. I cannot teach you how to be healthy when you're out there sweating and swinging hammers and moving weights all day long just for you to come into to your computer and sit behind your computer. The health you're going to experience is different. So we want to make sure that we encompass all of this. Our construction management, being a leader, is has its own stressors. So we have to encompass all of these health thoughts into our individuals and into our program, because that's what we're about. We're about having a holistic, truly holistic way to train our our kids. And our that's going to be our neighbors. Not only are they our kids, but they will be our neighbors. So how can we maximize our potential? And that's what we're going for.
Yeah, well, I was so impressed, and I can't remember the kid's name. Feel free to share it, but every one of those kids that were there were very impressive. I was just amazed. But the one guy that does all the drawings, the architecture drawings,
Nalu Brady Jr. Oh yes, I'm going to plug him.
bro, I look at these drawings, I'm thinking, that someone would have to have paid a lot of money to get someone to draw those drawings. And you guys are working with students that are doing all facets of these projects, from the drawings. The one thing I really like, and is so vital today, is the training, the health training, the fiscal management, financial management, wealth building strategies, which aren't taught in schools, traditional schools. But the fact that your focus, and this comes from, I think, your coaching background, your athletic background, the importance to be healthy, to stay away from drugs, to stay away from some of these things that are really hurting our youth today. This is an out. When I look at those kids, I think, these kids could be anywhere else. They could be down the beach in Anahola, or they could be at Kilea Beach right now, partying with their friends. And they were there, so proud of their accomplishments and this project. All I could think about that night was, you have saved these kids' lives, because now they have a purpose, they have a focus, and they are being taught and trained in healthy living and honest living. And kudos to you, man, because I really cannot think of a better teacher. And your team, again, they're amazing people from Lexi. Uh, uh, no, I just had a brain fart.
Kelsey.
Kelsey.
Yeah,
Uh,
Kelsey.
yeah, I remember Kelsey when she was like uh, an aide for my son's football team at the high school.
Yep,
High school.
that's right. That is right. 100%.
And she now is an HVAC expert. The three sisters run an HVAC company. I was like, wow, amazing how life turns for so many people for the right reasons. So I look at all these kids and I think, my God, these kids now have an opportunity. They have a purpose, and they were so excited to learn more and to move down this road. So how do you lure these kids in, and how do you keep them there when there's so many distractions going on today out in the world, especially here in Kauai? You know, it's it's the temptations and the distractions are all over the place. How do you get them in, and how do you keep them in?
Well, like I said, you know, I I do a lot of coaching, and I coach sports. I talk to kids. I love working with kids. Um, and when I coach a student or an athlete, I expect greatness out of them. I don't care what you do. I don't care where you're from. I don't care if you've ever played the sport or if you ever done this ever before. I expect you to be great. I expect, because you want to be a part of my program. I want you to be like me. And I want you to, and I don't take it any other way than just trying to make better adults. I want them. I like, hey, the kids, they see me working. My students. Even when I coach football, I would be out there running with them. I'd challenge them at lifting. I'll challenge them at push-ups, pull-ups, anything to make them feel better. Um, I just want I want to bring out the very best out of everyone that I come across, especially in things that I love. I absolutely love what's football was able to do for me. So when I coach football, I am coaching you like I love you, because you are playing a sport that I wouldn't even be here because of. I wouldn't have went to college if I wasn't big, strong, fast, and athletic. I wouldn't have graduated college if I wasn't any of those things. So when I get out there and I coach kids, I don't know if anybody's, and we go back to when we first started about the language and the language barriers. So I'm me. I'm at practice. I'm gonna say what I say, and that's just it. Now, if you don't like it, go somewhere else, and we'll kick your ass. I don't care. So when I talk to parents, I tell them that I say, I apologize. I will be upfront, and I apologize for any of the language that I throw at your kids, boys and girls. Everybody gets treated the same. But what I say is I want the absolute best for your kids. So I'm not just calling them names. I don't call anybody names. I'm very animated when I coach. I love because the kids feed off of that energy. The kids, after school all day, they got teachers that don't want to be there. They got people in their lives that think they're a burden. So when I show up, I want to make sure that they feel like they are important, that they are special, and that they can dominate every situation. And so coaching for me is second nature. If my dad, my brother, my family, we just want to be happy. There's nothing happier than kicking ass. There's nothing happier than whatever it is, and all kicking and kicking butt. It's just different for everyone. So everyone's kicking butt is different, but when you're doing it, you're freaking happy. And that's it. I just want everybody to kick butt at whatever you're doing, because it's going to make you the happiest. Then I say, hey, look at me. See how happy this face is?
Yeah, well, you hit on the head though. If you want to be on my team, if you want to be
Yeah.
in my program, that's the expectation. You let them
Yes.
know the expectation up front, and that is so important because that's what life is, right? You apply for a job, regardless of what career field. I really don't care, and you have made the decision. I want to be part of that team. With that decision comes the duty, the obligation to be the best for that new team,
Yeah.
and that new family. And I was at the police graduation today, and that's what the message was. That now you belong to a new family, and we love each other. Well, we may agree or we may disagree. At the end of the day, we love each other, and we're going to do what we have to do to protect and take care of each other. That's kind of the mentality that we got to have nowadays, and that's the thing, right? A lot of kids today, and that's what I love about this show. People can log off at any time. They can leave at any time. They cannot handle the dose of reality that's about to come out of these lips. A lot of these kids are sheltered, babied, and protected, and not for any other reason that their parents love them and care for them, don't want them to get hurt. But then they hit the real world, and they are in shock, and they cannot deal with the realities of life. And I'm not saying you go out and start cussing at kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth graders. That's not what I'm trying to say. I think that we have an obligation, we have a duty to teach our kids the life skills that they're going to need when they leave the nest of mom and dad. And some say it's tough love, some I call it reality checks, but at the end of the day, we got to give our kids the tools that they will need to succeed, because the world is like, you could have a fun football team. You could have a fun football team, and it's just good fun to have with the boys and go bang around a little while, and then you go to your first game, and then you just get your okolis kicked.
Yeah.
That's not a good feeling. And your coaches made you believe that you were the best that you could be when you weren't,
Mhm.
and then you just get demoralized, and all of a sudden the love for the game may go away. The same with life, right? You go into this construction industry, and everybody fluffed it up, and you thought it was going to be duck soup, and then you show up at the job, and all of a sudden pounding that hammer, uh, and carrying lumber and doing it, all of a sudden it's demoralizing because you weren't prepared properly, and then you blame the game, right? You blame the industry. And so I'm all for that, man. Just giving them the real dope about the journey that they want to, or they think they want to go, and giving them that opportunity to succeed. And I think that's so vital, especially in today's world, this oversensitive world that we live in today.
And I think, I think we we all do a poor job at, teaching teamwork, because it's not just one person, and everything you do affects everyone else, no matter where you're at. If you're a small business owner, you still have to have some type of team. Unless if you can do it all by yourself, then great. But it's about the team. It is about the team, and it's about the team's goals. If you want to be a part of this team, and I'm like I said, I like to be the guy that likes to bring the team together. I feel like that's where I really excel in being able to talk to these kids and be like, hey, we have a goal. We all have a responsibility. We all have a job. The Patriots are famous for this, right? Do your job. Don't do anything else but what you're supposed to do. But here's the tools, like you said. Here's the tools that can help you be better at your job in the future. And we're just trying to train them so that we can have a better island, and then a better state, and then who knows from there. Who knows from there. We're trying to start with the small little community, and then let's expand and let's make it grow. Because you know people, like you say, or you were leaning to, people don't follow programs, people follow people. And if your leader is doing, is not showing, it's not showing you what it takes, or it's not showing you that, hey, I'm here, where I'm on the roof slamming with you kids, you know what I mean? And I with my crew and everybody that knows me ever, I'll turn everything into a competition. I don't care if we're mixing mud, I don't care if we're putting up drywall, I don't care what we're doing, we're gonna race. And I'm, at my age and how out of shape I am, I'm trying to go at these kids. And luckily for me is if I don't have to show up for the next 2 days, I can rest and recover. But these guys, they gotta go hard, and that's their fault, because that's the trump cards that they pull.
Oh gosh. The Oakland Raiders, or whatever they are, the Las Vegas Raiders,
Yeah.
they weren't winning games this year. They were just losing game after game after game. And then I think the last 4 games they won. I believe the last 4 in a row they won. And the reporter interviewed Derek Carr and said, "Hey, the quarterback," and said, "What was it that turned this team around?" This was just last week, this past weekend. And I said, "What was it that turned this team around? I mean, you guys were losing every week." He said, 4 weeks ago, we started playing for each other. 4 weeks ago, we played for each other, which has been the Patriots' motto, their lifestyle for as long as I can remember. I mean, I think they were the first ones that came out and openly said, "I love my teammates. I do what I do for them, not for me, not for the stats." And that is so true. And more people gotta, that a lot of bosses, a lot of so-called leaders will say, I mean, will be the style of management: do as I say, not as I do. Right? They tell you what to do, but they are not capable, or they're not willing to practice what they preach. And that, again, it just sets people up for failure. It just does not provide an efficient, effective team. But I love football, so I relate a lot of things back to football. But that is so critical, where we learn that we're doing this for the team. We're doing it for each other. We're not doing it for ourselves. We're not doing it for any other reason but because I love my teammates, I love my coworkers, and I'm going to do what it takes so we all succeed. And that's just the mentality. Real quick, Lawaia, some of the projects that you folks have actually done right now, some of the pictures that I saw, you want to just go over some of the things that you guys have actually done in structures and so forth, that these kids,
Absolutely.
absent this program, would have no clue. They'd be like me. In fact, your brother Mahi had to come install my air conditioner because I couldn't even set up the frame and the thing. It was Mahi that did it for us. So what are these kids? What are they doing right now? What have they done?
Well, we've done 4 classroom builds for Kanui Kapono. We primarily work out of Kanui Kapono, so anything they need help with. So we're essentially like a maintenance crew for them, or a building crew that that assist. They need a lot of help being on Hawaiian homelands, not having the funding of public charter school, not having the funding that other institutions have. And again, I'm Hawaiian. I live on Hawaiian homelands. Why is my school on my land, underdeveloped? Why are we doing things that are not up to code? Why are we doing these things that kind of just get pushed to the side? And I didn't like that. So we've done 4 classroom builds for Kanui Kapono, just remodels, nothing crazy. Um, and we've done five tiny homes just kind of around our community. We've set a couple of these tiny homes as security gates here in Anahola, as offices, security offices. You'll see them as you come in. They're hard to miss. They're green green tiny homes. Yeah, we're, like I said, we're trying to do things, and we're trying to train in real world situations. In the classroom, it's so awesome to build something in a classroom, be able to break it down, be able to go through the entire step in a classroom and then just get rid of all the material. But that doesn't teach you anything once you go in the real world and you have cords all over the ground. You have some cuts that somebody left on the ground. You got these pieces of wood that you can roll and break your ankle. I've seen it. I've done it. I rolled my ankle many a times because things are on the ground that should have gotten picked up or tripped over some kind of cord. Like, you need to understand how to do this in real world. It's not something that you can just read in a book or be in a controlled situation, because obviously there's great times to learn how to use these tools. And I think Billy DeCosta is doing a great job at Kapa'a, with doing these tiny homes, and Duke Lang at KCC is doing an amazing, and their team, Crystal Cruz. I can go on with guys that are doing such an awesome job. But when you get out into the real world, it's different. You're going to have to walk over these pegs that sometimes don't have safety things on them or safety covers on them. You're going to have to walk into a site, and it's not conducive for, quote unquote, the safety environment. So this is a good opportunity for us to be like, hey, this is not safe. This is why it's not safe. Here, let's slow this down. Let's stop. Because we're a training program, we're not tied into any, we don't have to make money. Like, oh, let's go, hurry up, we got to finish the job. No, we're not built that way. If somebody takes on a building job that we want to do, we're going to do it slower. And we're going to do it slower because it's a training tool, but it's much, much cheaper to do it these ways. And that's why we like to work with nonprofits, and the Native Hawaiian community. Again, I am Hawaiian, and my dad wanted me to help Hawaiians. And, we go around and, thanks cousin Kalani for bringing that up. We go and help the kupuna. We go and remodel, just small things, nothing crazy, things that, we can be able to afford to go and help change out a window, change out rotten drywall, change out rotten siding, ADA ramp, remodel for bathrooms so we can get wheelchairs in them, just things that help. And that goes back to our other point when you talked about our students being happy. Most of our builds are for the community. It's so they're, they get paid a lot of the time. They get paid from, like, Auntie bringing out one cake or making them dinner or sorry, lunch, and they love it. And I absolutely love bragging about all of our team. Kelsey, Lexi, even Binky, having guys on our team that want to succeed. Kaiola, Po'okela, Kawai, Micah, Nalu, Alex, all of our team, they all want to succeed and they want to help. And we want to inspire that, teach them that it's about, I can make millions of dollars, but if I just hold it all and if I don't help anybody else, then I'm just grumpy man by himself, hoarding all of my wealth and just like, no, this is mine and that's yours. And I would like to help, flip that mentality of like, hey, guys, let's do this together. So what did I do? I made the most expensive thing that I could make the most money off, and I decided to turn it into a nonprofit. And You can't lead without leading. So I wanted to do that. I wanted to take those. I wanted to do that to show, like, hey guys, this is what we can do. This is what you guys all can do. You guys can all help people. It's gonna make you feel better. It's gonna make you put you in a better mood, and it's just good. It's just good vibes. You throw out good vibes, you get good vibes back. It's just the way the world works. If
Yeah.
I steal from you, somebody's gonna steal from me.
I
So
tell you, man, life lessons, life lessons. I tell you, man, there is never enough life lessons that can be taught and learned. And like you said, I still learn every day. I still learn every single day. You mentioned Billy DeCosta. I was at Kappa High School yesterday. I was in a class reviewing sustainability projects that these juniors and seniors, their assignment was to develop these projects, and I was invited to come and listen and comment. And uh, it was amazing watching these young kids. They're thinking the right way. But anyway, I asked the teacher, I said, is Billy DeCosta's class anywhere close by? She said, oh my gosh, it's right here. And I walked into Billy's class, and I was stunned at the relationship that he has with his kids is incredible. They were in the process of building a tiny home. And in fact, they had the frame all up. I look at this, and this is like top quality,
mhm,
much like your projects that I was able to see at the event. And I'm thinking, these kids, these are kids. These are like young kids.
children
Yeah,
doing it.
children that have put up a structure that I see in subdivisions as they're being developed. I'm thinking, these are kids that, it's like, pop on a football and you see the young kids. And, you when I first started coaching the young ones, and I remember the coach that was designing these plays for them, I was thinking, these kids ain't going to be able to comprehend those plays. Well, I was wrong. They were, and they were able to execute and do it well. I think we underestimate, we as the general public underestimate the abilities of these kids, and that's proven in your program at the Kappa High School program with Billy DeCosta. And it's just amazing the possibilities if we allow them to grow and teach them how to do it. Uh, you mentioned the nonprofit. Um, I gotta believe it costs money to run a project like this, and a lot of your work is being done volunteer work, as Kalani mentioned, the ramps and all of these projects that you guys are doing for the community uh, for free. How is the sustainability of this program? And I would assume that you're getting funding, private funding, public funding. I know a lot of the people watching right now is hoping or wishing that, or how can they help? How can they, I know one of the questions earlier was, how do you get a kid enrolled in your program, in your academy? But let's start with the
Feasibility.
financial part, the feasibility and the sustainability of this program going forward.
Well, first I got blessed. Like you said, I played football. One of my teammates, his name is Paul Carpenter. He actually played tackle right next to me. One of my best friends in college. He owns a lumber mill in Oregon, and so talking about blessings, because of that, I'm able to get things at cost. I'm able to get material at cost. Um, Almost everything I need outside of roofing or cement or tile and things like that. But if it's doors, if it's wood, if it's trim, if it's siding, if plywood, all of that, I can get all of those basically at cost, which helps a lot. Um, I think timing was just amazing. I knew his family owned a a lumber mill in Oregon. So when I wanted to start this program, I called him up. I said, "Hey, Paul, I got this program coming up. It's what I want to do. How can you help me?" And so, long story short, I was able to purchase a bulk order of wood, and I just wanted to see what kind of wood I could get. So I brought in, 2x4s, 2x6s, 2x8s, things that you're commonly going to use in any of your buildings, plywood, siding, um, again, stuff like that. And we brought in about $50,000 worth of material, and we probably saved about $70,000. So um, that, and being able to, we did have a private funder, and he's been taking care of us and really helping us progress. He gave us 4 scholarships to train of our students and our interns, and you know just such blessings. I think with some of our jobs where we can do for money, being that it's a nonprofit, everything stays in the program. So we if we have some lumber from our thing that we can sell to our kupuna at a much cheaper rate, and labor, some of these kids, they just do it for food. What I mean? Like auntie will bring out some pie, or and then if I'm at home, they'll call me, "Hey, uncle, come down here, Brian, to get some mean pie." I'm like, "Oh, Brian, I already gotta watch what I eat. You guys can't be giving me pie all the time." Um, so um, feasibility, it does cost money to help, but I think because it's a training entity, it costs much. It's much cheaper than it would be if you were to do it any other way. And our the people we work with, the families, they're so appreciative that they accept the help, even though they understand that it's not me doing the work. Like I said, I'm not doing the work. If I do the work, it's a lot more expensive. Might as well, we'll bring in a contractor, and we'll let the students do the works, and we're there telling them, "Mayor, we got a carpenter on site to say, hey, no, this is not good. Do this again," or they'll train you while you're doing it. So while it wouldn't be as fast or as efficient as somebody like a carpenter or myself would do it, it takes a little longer. The cuts are not perfect, you know, but the job gets done. It gets done right, and the skills are things that you just harness, and you 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 just sharpen over time. You know, we teach them how to do the tool, and just the more practice you get, the better you're going to get at it. And so, um, as far as feasibility, again, going back to it, we try to make it as cheap as possible for everyone. I don't, we just looking for a better way, better option. Grants, we haven't really applied for too many grants, or really asked for too much money. We're a building program, and if we need some money, we can do some small renovation jobs, and be able to fund the things that we need to fund. But yeah, just leveraging the the options I have, leveraging my personal connections. And it's like, yeah, I got these connections that help me personally. Now, why don't I just use those? Because all the guys we work with are in, our guy that does investments is Andre Lister with LPL Financial. Amazing dude, like just a good dude. I met him in Leadership Kauai, and he's just like, how can I help you guys? I want to help you guys. I want to get you guys. I want to get the students, interns. I want to get them accounts. I want to get them, you know, personally. How can we help you get a 401k if you want to do these things? And it's just a blessing. And I think what we see personally is we see the more we help, the more help we get. Um, and so, I don't have all the answers on, that, but that's how it's been. It's been the more we help, the more help we get. Um, yeah.
That's always a good rule to follow. I saw Andre at the event actually. I hadn't seen him in a while, but he was actually there, and yeah, I was on him for a little while. So you're looking pretty much self-sustaining, but as a nonprofit, you are able to accept donations. And as we wrapping up the hour, what's the best way for? Oh, before we get there, how do kids enter your program?
We
Is it
do have
right?
on our website, we have our links to our website, and that's at hoakeolopono.org. You can go in there and apply. And once we get openings, we need scholarships. So right now we're in the verge of trying to find scholarship funding so that we can get these 12-week programs up and running again. Um, So yeah, go to our website, sign up, and once we solidify more funding, we're gonna put more things on social media. I'm sorry, I'm not the best.
Oh, 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 there we go.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
What happened?
Speaking of
Did
social
you
media,
did you
that's
did
what I
you?
don't want to do. I can't even do that, man.
I'm not the best at social media. Bloop, gone. Did you hit the wrong
Oh,
button or
timing,
what?
right? Timing.
I was like, this thing has been going so well with this brand new software, this brand new equipment, and oh my God, right at the anyway.
Perfect. That's just a perfect learning opportunity for us.
So,
But yeah, so yeah, go ahead.
keolapono.org, guys,
.org.
go ahead and check it out. And, if you can help, please do. We this village is an amazing village. This most of our viewers come on after the fact, and there'll be a lot of people that watch this video. So please, keolapono.org, go check it out, see what these guys are doing, and figure out if there's a way you can help out. They're always open to help. I just see this program growing, and I can visualize the ninth grade, the 10th grade, the 11th grade. If all goes well, in 4 years, you'll have a 4-year high school built right there in Anahola. I should have said that in the beginning. This is out of Anahola. And
Mhm.
that is going to give so many kids an opportunity to succeed and to do well and to do right and to learn that I fully believe the more you give, the more you receive. That's just a rule. That's just how life works. And many people don't
That
believe
is.
that, but um, yeah, I'm excited. What's the next big? You got any events, fundraisers, anything coming up that you want to share?
Outside of a couple of speaking arrangements with a couple of universities, nothing much yet, but we're looking at actually having these events bring in some funding. I'm like, I don't want to ask for money yet. I want to try and I just want to show guys what the options are. We brought in guys, Unlimited, She Oil, Williams Construction, PCCC, American Electric. We brought in a lot of contractors to come see what we're doing and gain support from them, because essentially, hey, we're helping you. Let's do this together. And after that, we've got great offers to help not only build our school, but help supply us with carpenters to teach, or journeymen to teach the different trades. Offering us to an on-site learning environment where we can go and work on unlimited work site, and they have contractors there, they have construction management there, they have material managers there, they've got permitting guys there, they've got engineering guys there. They've Every single thing that you'll need is on that site, and that's basically at every site you go to. um, so by turning that site into a school, we can really encompass everything inside of it, and that's all of the machine work, that's all of the driving, that's repairing of these machines and tools. And there's so many jobs in between designing your house and actually building your house, permitting, all the way through from the county, all the way through the last person, your finished carpenter coming in and putting in your little trinkets, or your towel racks and things like that. That's the finished thing, right? The finished painting. So many opportunities in between. All we got to do is find what you're good at, and then put you there, and allow you to be the absolute best that you can be.
Just like the football
That's
team, man. Just like the football team. Huh?
just like the football team. I
What's the
designed
coach?
this of that. Yeah, I designed this program basically around football. It's a team. The best thing about for me at working with football, and it taught me how to work with a team. I had guys from all over the country, and not only that, guys from across the globe, that got scholarships to play football. It doesn't matter what you believe in, like we talked earlier. It doesn't matter what you. We're on a team. We have goals together as a team, and we are more than a team. We're a family. We bleed together. We sweat together. We We're out there breaking our backs together for the common goal. And it seemed, again, similar to construction. We bleed together, whether we want to or not. We make mistakes. We sweat together. We're out there breaking our backs together for the common goal of, hey, how can we be the best that we can be? And you know, hopefully the results, are just a byproduct of the work we've put in.
Well, it's just bound to succeed. I will say this. Um, One of the contractors that were at that event, they were so impressed, and I'm sure they spoke to you as well. I'm not going to mention names, but said that they would hire every single student that completes your program. They would hire them right off the bat. They would bring them on board right off the bat. They would have a job here on Kauai after completing your program. That's how impressed they were with what you guys are doing out there. So that just says a lot. That says a lot.
Thank you. One of my best friends, Kahai Lakau, coaches sports football with me. Is like, we're not teaching people how to dig, how to work with a shovel. We're talking about football, but I think they work together. When some of the parents ask, why are you guys doing these? Why are you? This is too much for my student or too much for my kid. Why you? Because he said it best. He said, think about it this way. We're not trying to teach your kids how to operate a shovel. We're teaching them how to run a machine. We're not trying to teach them the easy way. We want to teach them what they're capable of. I don't want you to tell me what they cannot do. I want them to tell me what they cannot do. I want them to show me, because you can tell me. Parents and adults do a great job of telling everybody what they shouldn't, what we shouldn't be doing with our kids, right? They know better and but it brings it back. You're only limited to your limitations.
Mhm.
We're not trying to teach you how to operate a shovel. We're trying to teach you how to run machine. So that's something that I will always utilize. And again, my boy Kahai LaCount, he's just a good member of our team. Good teammate to have. They drop these knowledge bombs on us, and it's like, oh, okay, you got just a pretty face. Okay.
Hey, I call them nuggets. I call them nuggets, and every day, whether it's on the football field, at the practice field, or if it's at the training school or on the construction site, every day you pick up a nugget. A nugget stays with you forever and ever and ever. So appreciate
Yep.
you, Lawaia, and your team for all the nuggets that you're providing for his kids. I got to tell you, man, it's hard to describe unless you can see it. I got a chance to see it. I'm stoked. I'm impressed. I'm excited about what your program, where it's heading, and the value that you can provide to our community and to these kids, whether they choose to continue in construction or in the trades, or they use what they've learned in this academy to pursue other goals. That's going to be up to them. But you guys are getting them ready for whatever they choose. Um, with that, man, we're at the top of the hour. I give you whatever you want to closing comments to our viewers, and so anything you want to say, man, it's your time.
Well, going back to it, I just tried. At the core of it, I'm still that kid that just walked to school, from a tent, and didn't have the skills to be successful in a classroom. And there's a lot of students like that. And at the end of the day, I really have a heart for those kids. I see those kids coming in. They never eat. They have clothes with holes in them. They're not wearing slippers. They're coming school late because they're walking to school at 8 or 9 o'clock. They're a whole hour late for school. I sympathize with that. And I'm still that kid. I'm still that kid that was ashamed to go into class because I wasn't good enough for everyone else and to follow all of whatever everyone else told me what I was supposed to be good at. And again, thankful for the people I've had in my life, my dad, my brother, my family, sports. Thanks to them for giving me that opportunity to play sports and learn some of these skills, because essentially I want to help the little kids like myself that go through these, that are put in this box because they haven't learned the proper tools to sit with everybody else. And that's what we're looking for. What we're trying to do with that's my goal in life, to make sure that kids don't feel the way I did. And yeah, here we are.
Well, my friend, thank you, bro, for spending an hour with us tonight. I love your family like my own. You guys have been a big part of our family throughout the years, and all I can say is I wish you the best. God bless you. Keep up this academy, and we'll be checking in now and then to get the updates, man. Oh, by the way, I need some work around my house done, some minor, we can.
We, we might know somebody. Oh, actually, no, I do have something. We
Oh
are in the
yes, you gotta
process.
you gotta yes, you gotta put in that plug that
Got to throw in the plug. I am in the process. We got all our emotions. You made me start crying when you started talking about my dad. I couldn't think. Um, we are looking for a carpenter that wants to work with kids. So we want to grow our team a little bit more and add another carpenter to our team. So if you or any of your viewers know of anybody, please reach out to us. You can reach out to us or our social media. If you even reach out to Mel, and he'll get to me. He's a good pal of ours and a good teammate to have as well. If you know anybody that wants to get down with the get down, let's get it done.
One last thing before we sign off, because you talked about getting emotional. I had never seen this man emotional. And and at this event, he was up sharing with the group, the contractors and everybody that was there about the program and what his passion was, and he started to get emotional, and I got his
But to
back.
pull
I
that
said,
back,
"What?"
put that back in a box.
I said, "What's up, Levi? What allergies? You get allergies? Yeah, I get allergies.
Ball.
But that just shows the passion, the love you have for what you're doing for these kids, and for that, brother. I love you. I love this program. I love everything about it. And God bless you, my man. God bless you.
Our guy. Well, thank you very much for having me. I miss Brother Charlie. I see him next week.
Next time, tomorrow night we'll be back, guys. Remember, tomorrow night, Jennifer Smith, the whistleblower from, a year or two ago. Um, Broke the silence on the corruption that was going on with the Department of Health. She got a new book out. Jennifer Smith. She'll be on tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. It's going to be recorded because of time difference. I'll do the interview in the afternoon, but we'll put it up live. It'll be live, somewhat live, but it'll be up at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. You don't want to miss that one. All right, guys. You guys, love you guys all. Take care. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Aloha.
Aloha, Mel.
Aloha.